Well,
We'll set your matter.
I like to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the
you
right
can
to
file an
travel. You telling me I don't have the right to challenge jurisdiction right now? I, Rambo L, an executor and beneficiary of recidiv. Also, I filed a declaration of non-citizenship nationality because I've done a name change. Rambo L is a man, people, but not a person. I was not operating in commerce, nor was I driving. Rambo was just merely traveling in my private property. I don't see an injured party. I don't know why I'm here.
This sovereign citizen showed up in court recently, and let's just say did not go well for him. He was therefore driving without a license and refusing to show ID. But instead of just handling the charges, he took a bizarre turn. He made up a fake name Rambo and claimed he wasn't a real person. Yep, seriously, it's hard to believe someone could go that far down the rabbit hole, but here we are. Let me know in the comments how you'd rate this courtroom performance from 1 to 10, because we've seen some wild ones on this channel.
You have an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here by special appearance.
Okay. I'll put you in the private meeting room with the city attorney.
Your Honor, we've actually already met with Mr. Rambo L before. He was requesting a formal hearing on these two files.
Okay, sounds good. Formal hearings will be set for in-person appearance.
Actually, I filed a motion January 6th. This is when it went unanswered. I would like the court to dismiss this matter.
Okay, your motion to dismiss is denied.
How many days does the prosecutor have to answer my motion for motion for challenge of jurisdiction that I submitted to the clerk? And I've served everybody, all parties. How long does he have? Because that happened January 6th.
I see it's a motion to show authority.
And also a demand for dismissal, lack of jurisdiction, failure to introduce evidence of an injury in fact, challenges jurisdiction of the court to prosecute. That was filed January 6th.
We only have one motion attached to the file. I don't see the other motions that you're referencing, sir.
It's timestamped by the court. I have it right here.
I see a motion to show authority, which the court has denied. And then there was a memo that was attached. There was not any other motion. I don't read via Zoom.
It's filed with the clerk. Everybody was served.
Mr. Staples, did you get a copy of the motion he's referencing?
I see a copy of the motion to show authority in our file. I don't recognize it as any sort of valid motion or pleadings, but I see a copy of it in our file.
Agreed. That's the same the court has. It's a motion to show authority. The other motions that he's referencing was not properly filed with this court or served as the court. Neither the court nor Mr. Staples' office is in receipt of it. The motion to show authority was denied. Is not in proportion with the Michigan court rules. It does cite, however, Luke 11:46, the King James version, Luke 11:52, as well as some other articles and treaties. But nonetheless, as indicated by Mr. Staples from the Office of City Attorney, this is not a lawful or appropriately filed motion, and for that reason, it was denied before this court. But we will
Well, I
set your matter.
I like to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the right to
file an
travel.
appropriate motion.
Get into it and watch this sovereign citizen get thoroughly shut down by a no-nonsense judge, right? Off the bat, it's clear this guy has no clue how to properly file a motion. Not surprising, considering he's trying to play lawyer without any training. What's funny is that the second the judge says motion denied, he instantly switches gears. It's like he had a whole script ready to go. He starts shouting about the court not having jurisdiction as if that's going to magically make the charges disappear. You can literally see him throwing out random legal terms, hoping something sticks. Honestly, it's painful to watch. Maybe, just maybe, If he hired an actual attorney instead of studying conspiracy theories online.
With the court under the Michigan court rules to challenge jurisdiction. But what we won't do is entertain motions under the King James Version of the Bible. Okay?
That was a different motion you're referring to. That was the motion to show authority.
We don't have the other motion, sir. So you can file that motion. It's just we don't have it. I don't know why we only have one motion. That we don't have the other one you're referencing. So you'd have to file that and serve it on the city attorney. We'll give you time to do that. I'm going to set both of these matters for hearing, though.
I can't chill. You telling me I don't have the right to challenge jurisdiction right now? I want to challenge jurisdiction right now.
You can file a motion for challenging the jurisdiction, sir.
I can't do a verbal motion?
No, you cannot.
So you telling me I have a right to do a verbal motion?
You don't have a right to do that. You're going to file it in writing and you're going to serve it properly on the parties that you're filing it against. Okay, sir? March 14th at 10:30 in person at the court will be the date for the formal hearing, and then we'll hear any arguments on motions if necessary. You have any questions today, Mr. L? Okay, well, then you're all set. Thank you. Okay, you can have a seat. Thank you.
Officer Vanderwerf, would you state your name for the records, please?
Oh, you want to call him? Let me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Swear, man, no worries. Vanderwerf, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Judge. So I was traveling southbound on King when I observed a pickup truck in front of me that was changing lanes, failing to use its signal. So at that time, I activated my overhead lights on the vehicle to initiate a traffic stop. And then I made contact with the driver, who was later identified as a Rambo L. In our contact, he ended up handing me a piece of paper. At brief glance, when I looked at the piece of paper, it appeared to have what I believe was certain MCL codes that the subject may have typed onto the piece of paper. When I had asked him for a driver's license or identification, he was not really very cooperative. I also don't believe I was provided any insurance. At that time, I decided to issue him a citation for failing to signal, changing lanes, and failing to display a valid license, and then also the license plate when through the system was expired.
Mr. L, did you want to question the witness?
Yes. The document that you were referring to, it was a travel document. I was showing you I was traveling versus driving, and I tried to explain that to you. And then you held me on the side of the road for approximately an hour. I requested a supervisor because they might better understand what I was doing, and you never provided that for me. Is that correct?
That's actually incorrect, because the reason that you were held on the stop for as long as you were is because I was waiting for a supervisor. So when I realized the supervisor was not there, I contacted him by phone, at which time he said he was delayed. And when I came back up to the traffic stop, I did ask if you wanted to wait further for a sergeant, and I don't believe that you did. And then you drove off when you were free to go.
Yes. Is it correct that I was held on the road for approximately an hour waiting for this whole encounter to end?
I do not remember if it was an hour specifically, but I do remember that the time length was probably, I would say probably close to that at the very least.
Well, it was an hour, and it caused me to be late for my son's banquet. And and I never got to speak to a supervisor. That's all the questions I had.
Fine. He'd know what he was doing. Filing a motion isn't rocket science, but it definitely helps to know what you're doing. At one point, says something like, "Okay, fine. I was guilty, but you held me for over an hour." That's not the defense he thinks it is. And that's all he really came to court to prove. Meanwhile, he's facing real charges like failing to identify himself, among others. Imagine going through all this just to avoid getting a driver's license. Instead of acting like he's above the law, maybe he should have taken the easier route and followed it. This courtroom isn't a debate club, it's a legal process with real consequences. And yet he still tries to argue like it's all just a game. Honestly,
Okay, Mr. Earl, are you calling any witnesses today, or did you want to give your own testimony?
I would like to, I have some, I'll have a defense, my
Well-
motion.
Okay, well, you filed a motion?
Yeah, I filed a motion, served across the
When did
city
you file a
attorney.
motion?
It was filed, it was mailed February 18th.
You filed a motion and mailed it February 18th. Did you serve a copy?
To the clerk of the courts and also to the city attorney's office.
Did you receive any motion, sir?
Your Honor, we did receive a motion. It did not have any hearing date stated on it. We had no timetable for a response. I would be happy to respond to the motion on the record orally or provide the court with briefing if they would like.
The court didn't get a copy of the motion in February.
I sent it to the clerk. And,
Yeah, typically when that happens, it's just attached to the file. I don't have a copy of any motion.
well, I did my due diligence. I sent a copy to him. He has his.
Well, I don't know that you did your due diligence because when you file a motion, you got to get a hearing date for that motion. And so
Who's supposed to give me a hearing?
you got to get the hearing date from the clerk's office.
From the clerk's office?
Yeah.
So why did they give me one?
Did you contact them for a hearing date?
I contacted them, yeah.
And asked for
And I
hearing
asked
dates
them,
for your
and I
motion?
asked them when was my hearing. They confirmed that it was today.
For your motion.
And I asked, did I have a hearing date? And they
But-
said,
And you do have a hearing date, but that's not what I asked you. Did you ask them, did you have a hearing date for your motion?
for my motion,
Yes.
they didn't tell me, but I did provide to him an order for the motion that gave him 21 days to respond.
Okay, you can make your motion before the court because I don't have a copy. You can make it now orally.
Okay, well, now comes the beneficiary for Rambo L, defendant in error here by special appearance, not submitting to the court's jurisdiction, hereby moves the court to strike and dismiss the complaint filed by the officer Zenderbar. Am I pronouncing that right? Sorry if I'm not. For lack of ratification and commencement, no corpus delicti, no plaintiff, lack of jurisdiction, personal or firm jurisdiction. Christina Simmons being appointed as trustee, the prosecutors being appointed as co-trustee, I, Rambo L, an executor and beneficiary of a set of account. Also, I filed a declaration of non-citizenship nationality because I've done a name change. Where my point of authorities are the United States District of Columbia Corporation in Volume 20, Corpus Juris Section 1785, we find United States government as a foreign corporations with respect to the states. Since the corporation is fictitious, is a fictitious person, it can't see, speak, smell, or touch itself. It's a fictional. Is a fiction in the real world. It needs a conducting, transmitting utility, a liaison, some sort of connection to a fictional person. Constitutional Amendment number 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion, prohibiting free exercise thereof, abridging freedom of speech or right of press or right of people, peaceful assemble, petition the government for redress of grievance. Number 5, Constitutional Amendment. The right of people should be secure in their person, houses, papers, in effect against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued upon probable cause supported by an oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place search of persons, things to be seized. And then number 7, Constitutional Amendment, suits at common law where value of controversy exceeding $20, the right of a jury trial shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States according to the rules of common law. I asked for a jury trial, I didn't get that. Rambo L is a man, people, but not a person. I was not operating in commerce, nor was I a driver on the road for travel. A driver is an employee transporting goods or passengers. Rambo was just merely traveling in my private property.
I don't know how the people in that courtroom kept a straight face. If I were in there, I'd be quietly laughing in the back row. But seriously, imagine being his kid. Either they've transferred schools multiple times or just learned to tune out the embarrassment. And this guy has to be around 50. At some point, don't we all? Need to start acting like grown-ups? His behavior is more like a child who thinks hiding under the bed makes them invisible. It would be funny if it weren't so real. What do you think? Is this guy just misinformed? Or is he way too deep into online conspiracy theories? The judge wrapped it up perfectly calm, firm, and with zero tolerance for nonsense. That's exactly the kind of leadership we need more of in courtrooms. Too often. You sovereign citizen.
Here are some examples of my Supreme Court constitutional defenses. Number one, I was not engaged in a commercial trade at the time of the alleged infraction, and I do not proceed to say a license is upon a constitutional detention. Motor vehicle means every description of a carrier drawn by mechanical power used in commercial purposes on a highway. There's neither injury nor any trespasses. All crimes are commercial, 27 CFR 72.11, and every alleged crime has to have a nature and cause and be prosecuted by the name of the people of the state. I don't have a contract with the state. I don't see an injured party. I don't know why I'm here.
Any additional argument on your motion?
I would ask the court to dismiss this to failure to state a claim where relief can be granted.
The court has heard the argument. I'm first address your motion, Mr. L, and I'm going to deny your motion as clearly indicated in the response by the city. Your claims would be most appropriately brought before the Court of Claims, and so you can't challenge a constitutional issue in this court, okay? As it relates to the authority and the process to bring this matter before the district court as it relates to your civil infractions, you have an expired plate and a failure to signal. Again, a jurisdiction or venue before this court is appropriate. This is a situation or incident that occurred in the area of South MLK Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. And so you're subject to the laws and the ordinances of the city of Lansing, but also the laws under the Michigan compile laws. Here in this district court, we are subject to the Michigan court rules. And so although I gave leniency with your motion, it was not properly filed and or served. But it also does not comport with the Michigan compile laws or Michigan court rules. And so for those reasons, it is denied. Now, as to the civil infraction, failed to signal an expired plate from December 3rd, 2022, we do not provide any valid dispute or defense to these civil infractions. You could have appeared and showed information that demonstrated you did have a valid plate at the time, or that you even have one now, which could reduce the citation, but that's not taking place. And so I'm going to sustain both violations of civil infractions. There's a fine of $125 on each. Okay, sir?
My next defense, am this done or can I say something else?
You can say something else. I asked you if you had any further defense, but you said.
My next defense would be, Michigan allows 72 hours to register any vehicle when it's first purchased. He never asked for anything. I never got a chance to explain myself on the side of the road.
Okay, do you have proof that you had just purchased it within 72 hours?
I don't have the title.
Okay, thank you, sir. If the defense is not meaningful, if you can't provide any evidence to support that defense. That being said, your fine is $125 on each file. When do you intend to make payment?
Do I have a chance to appeal this?
You can.
I would like to appeal.
Okay, you want to file an appeal? It's the civil infraction?
I want to file an appeal today.
Okay, you can file a motion for reconsideration. But you need to follow the Michigan court rules, okay? You don't we don't submit to the sovereign rules, okay? This is, you take that to the sovereign court.
Types walk in spouting made-up laws, wasting everyone's time. And some judges just let it slide. It's not this one. He wasn't having any of it. Let this be a reminder. Don't take legal advice from someone on Facebook. Just because they have an eagle in their profile picture and the word patriot in their name. These folks spend more time arguing fake laws than dealing with the real ones that actually matter. Rambo, or whatever he wants to be called, learned the hard way that this isn't a game. The law is the law. And now he's dealing with the consequences. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this case. He might not be the most extreme sovereign citizen we've seen, but he's definitely up there.